In this video, we show you how to connect and troubleshoot the included power supply with Apollo desktop interfaces. Each Apollo desktop unit, such as an Apollo Twin or Apollo X4, come with an included external power supply rated specifically for that model. For proper operation, it is highly recommended to always use the factory power supply that came with your device. Apollo Solo USB comes with an external auto-switching power supply rated for an output of 12 volts DC, a current draw of 1.6 amps, and center positive polarity. Apollo Twin, Apollo Twin Mark II, and Apollo Twin USB come with an auto-switching power supply rated for an output of 12 volts DC, a current draw of 1.5 amps, and a center positive polarity. These power supplies include changeable AC connectors for USA, Europe, UK, Australia, and China to match your local power outlets or for when traveling internationally. Apollo Twin X and Apollo X4 come with an auto-switching power supply rated for an output of 12 volts DC, a current draw of 4.2 amps, and a center positive polarity. Apollo Twin X and Apollo X4 use an external power supply that connects to wall outlets using a female non-polarized C7 cable. When traveling internationally, you can purchase and swap the non-polarized C7 cable with one that is compatible with outlets in the country you'll be visiting, or use a plug adapter. All Apollo desktop models come with a locking power supply. If the power supply is not locked into the chassis correctly, it can result in the hardware intermittently losing power or not powering on at all. When inserting the power cable, first align the two tab wings on the cable's barrel connector with the notches on the power input. There's a lock with an arrow indicating the locking direction. Rotate the barrel clockwise to secure it into the chassis. After locking the power supply into the Apollo, next choose the corresponding AC plug for your local power outlet and connect it to the power supply. Now, connect the power supply directly to a power outlet and the device is ready to be powered on. For more information about setting up your Apollo with a computer, visit our knowledge base at help.uaudio.com. If you are experiencing issues with the included power supply, here are a few suggestions to try. First, turn off the Apollo using the power switch and unplug the power supply from the outlet. Then, check that the wings on the barrel power connector are fully inserted into the hardware and it is rotated clockwise into the locked position. After the barrel connector is locked into the hardware, remove and reseat the AC adapter. Now, test the Apollo with a different power outlet at your location. Testing with multiple outlets in different rooms is recommended. Once connected to the outlet, power on the Apollo. If the device does not power on after testing with multiple power outlets, it may indicate that there is a power supply failure. If your power supply fails or is lost and you need to get through a session, you can use a generic replacement power supply that matches the original power supply specifications as a temporary solution. When obtaining a generic replacement power supply for your Apollo, make sure that the replacement power supply matches the specifications of the original power supply exactly. All desktop Apollo models use a power supply connector that has a male 2.1mm by 5.5mm center positive barrel plug. The exact power specifications of any Apollo or UAD device can be found in the product manual section of our knowledge base at help.uaudio.com. To avoid damaging your hardware, do not use a replacement power supply that does not provide the correct output voltage, current, or match the polarity of the included factory supply. Always make sure that the replacement power supply fits snugly into the power connector on the back of the unit. Please note, Universal Audio is not responsible for any damage caused by using a non-factory power supply. A factory replacement power supply for your Apollo or UAD hardware can be purchased from a UA-authorized retailer. If you are unable to locate a factory replacement power supply, or you're unable to resolve the power issue following the previous suggestions, contact Universal Audio customer support for further assistance.